Have you ever stopped to reflect on how we deal with pain and suffering in our lives? Whether by revealing, hiding, or transforming it, this question transcends the limits of human existence. However, it is important to recognize that revealing our pain can sometimes attract more harm than healing. It is a reality that many face, as there are individuals who find morbid pleasure in witnessing the suffering of others, feeding a disturbing mixture of sadism and envy. This behavior can infiltrate various spheres of our lives, at work, in social interactions, and even within our own families. However, we cannot ignore the fact that within each of us lies an incredible source of strength, a latent power waiting to be awakened. It is the art of turning our vulnerabilities into an unshakable force that propels us forward. It is in this journey of self-discovery and personal growth that we set out to embark. Throughout this video, we will explore 20 historical principles of Epictetus, the respected philosopher whose ideas have traversed the ages with relevance and depth. However, this is not a mere one-sided discourse. We invite you to actively engage in this journey, to participate meaningfully and reflectively. Therefore, in the upcoming crucial moments, we invite you to disconnect from the distractions of everyday life and fully focus on the content that will be shared. We are about to embark on a journey of self-awareness and transformation. Let's begin. Principle 1. Do not let the comments and attitudes of others control your life. Have you ever found yourself easily influenced by the words and emotions of others? Every negative comment, every disapproving look manipulating your emotions. Epictetus reminds us, on this great stage of life, that we have the power to master our own emotions. Why grant the negativity of others control over your emotional state? Words can hurt and attitudes can harm, but the plain truth is that by allowing yourself to be consumed by anger or bowing to criticism, you are surrendering your power. It is time to reclaim that authority, not with bitterness or resentment, but with the understanding that your peace, your joy, are solely yours to govern. Principle 2. Practice active listening twice as much as speaking. Have you considered the simplicity and wisdom contained in this singular anatomy? 2 ears, 1 mouth. It is not a mere coincidence of nature, but rather an intentional reminder to cultivate the art of listening attentively to the narratives, pains, and joys around us. Epictetus emphasized this truth by pointing out that we possess 2 ears and only 1 mouth, so that we can absorb twice as much as we express verbally. Listening transcends mere skill, it is a bridge to true understanding. While it is easy to join the noise, true virtue lies in discerning when to remain silent, choosing to be an empathetic listener to the world around us. Principle 3. Have you ever found yourself worried about the negative opinions or hatred of others towards you? The hatred of others reflects their own insecurities and frustrations. We should focus on our own values and goals, cultivating positive and constructive relationships, and ignore those who spread hate and negativity. Epictetus reminds us that the hatred of others is often a reflection of their own insecurities and frustrations. He encourages us not to let the hatred of others affect us, focusing on our own values and goals. Instead of being disturbed by the hatred of others, we should concentrate and spend our time cultivating positive and constructive relationships and ignore people who spew hate and negativity. Principle 4. Always seek to see the good side of things. Have you ever found yourself in a difficult situation and had trouble finding something positive in it? Seeking to always see the good side of things does not mean ignoring the challenges or difficulties we face, but rather adopting a mindset that allows us to find opportunities for growth and learning even in the most adverse circumstances. This optimistic approach not only helps us better deal with challenges but also contributes to our emotional and mental well-being, allowing us to face obstacles with more courage and determination. Epictetus teaches us that we can choose how to interpret the situations we face in life. Even in difficult times, we can find opportunities for growth and learning. He reminds us that our emotional well-being often depends on how we choose to see the world around us. Instead of focusing only on the negative aspects, we should train our minds to recognize and value the good side of things. Principle 5. Let go of what you cannot control. Have you ever felt overwhelmed trying to control things that are beyond your power? Many worries and anxieties arise when we try to control situations or events that are simply not within our domain. Epictetus reminds us that there are many things in life that are beyond our control. Trying to control the uncontrollable only leads to frustration and suffering. Instead, he encourages us to accept with serenity the things we cannot change and direct our energy to those over which we have direct control. By letting go of what we cannot control, we find a sense of peace and inner freedom. Principle 6. Fulfill your duty/do not procrastinate. Have you ever postponed important tasks and felt the weight of procrastination? By fulfilling our duty, we cultivate a sense of self-respect and integrity, as well as contribute to our well-being, increasing our self-esteem, that feeling of well-being when going to sleep with a sense of accomplishment, a feeling that tells us, I am capable of climbing the steps to achieve my dreams. Epictetus reminds us that fulfilling our duties is essential for living a virtuous and satisfying life. He encourages us to act with diligence and determination, without postponing the responsibilities we have before us. Principle 7. Your reactions determine your future. How do you handle your reactions in the face of adversity? Do you see them as opportunities for growth or allow them to consume you? It is crucial to understand that our reactions to circumstances significantly shape our destiny. Epictetus reminds us that we are not defined by what happens to us, but by how we choose to respond. He encourages us not to victimize ourselves in the face of setbacks, such as a lost job or a failed relationship, but to see these difficult moments as opportunities for personal growth. By questioning whether these situations have defeated us or propelled us towards success, we are adopting a stance of responsibility over our own lives. Epictetus emphasizes the importance of not allowing adversities to define us, but rather using them as fuel for our growth and personal development. He reminds us that in the face of challenges, we have the choice to become victims or to strengthen ourselves. By adopting a mindset of resilience and determination, we can transform difficult moments into opportunities to achieve our goals and find success in our lives. Principle 8. Indifference to others' opinions. Have you ever found yourself too worried about what others think of you? Excessive concern with others' opinions can prevent us from living authentically and following our own path. By allowing ourselves to be overly influenced by what others think, we lose our inner freedom and become prisoners of external expectations. Epictetus teaches us the importance of not allowing others' opinions to control our lives. He reminds us that we cannot control what others think or say about us, but we can control our own response to those opinions. Epictetus encourages us to cultivate a healthy indifference towards others' opinions, recognizing that our true worth does not depend on external approval. He urges us to trust in our own wisdom and live according to our own principles and values, regardless of what others may think. By cultivating an attitude of indifference towards others' opinions, we can find greater inner freedom and authenticity in our lives. This allows us to live more genuinely and satisfactorily, without being hostages to external expectations and judgments. Principle 9. Guilt is a trap. Have you ever found yourself trapped in the cycle of guilt, dwelling on past mistakes and wishing you could turn back time? Excessive guilt and rumination over past mistakes are traps that prevent us from fully living in the present and focusing on achieving our future goals. Epictetus encourages us to learn from our mistakes, instead of being stuck in them, and to direct our energy towards positive actions in the present. By freeing ourselves from guilt, we can cultivate greater self-acceptance and move towards a more fulfilling and satisfying life. Principle 10. A contented spirit is true wealth. Have you ever noticed how a state of inner contentment can positively impact your life? It is important to remember that true wealth lies not in the accumulation of material possessions, but rather in a state of inner contentment. Epictetus encourages us to find joy and satisfaction in the simple things of life and to value what truly matters. Cultivating a contented spirit allows us to live with gratitude and appreciation, regardless of external circumstances. Principle 11. Do not cling to a single hope, the unpredictable fate. Have you ever found yourself trapped in hope for a specific outcome and been disappointed when things didn't go as planned? That life is unpredictable, we all know, but have you ever wondered why we handle the unpredictable so poorly? We cannot control certain events in our lives, such as the passing of a loved one or a pet, being fired from that job you planned your career around. Epictetus reminds us that life is unpredictable and that we cannot completely control the course of events. He encourages us not to cling to a single hope or expectation, but rather to accept uncertainty as an inevitable part of human existence. By freeing ourselves from the need to control the future, we can find greater inner peace and acceptance of things as they are. Principle 12. Detachment from the outcome. Have you ever found yourself obsessed with the results of your actions instead of focusing on the process itself? Doing what needs to be done towards our goals and objectives is a virtue. Being aware that the possible result may not be 100% what we expect avoids many frustrations. Epictetus teaches us the importance of focusing on the process and not the end result. He reminds us that the outcome of our actions often lies beyond our direct control, and therefore, we should focus on acting according to our principles and values, regardless of the result. By cultivating detachment from the outcome, we can find greater inner freedom and peace of mind, as we are not attached to external expectations or results. Principle 13. Do not be too rigid when choosing a career path. Have you ever found yourself so fixated on a single career path that you ended up missing valuable opportunities that came your way? It is important to recognize that, often, becoming excessively attached to a single idea or career can limit our possibilities and prevent us from exploring new opportunities that may be more fulfilling and meaningful. Epictetus teaches us the importance of not being too rigid in our career choices. He reminds us that life is unpredictable and that we should be open to new opportunities that may come our way. By remaining flexible and receptive to change, we can find true fulfillment and success in our career and personal life. Principle 14. Cultivation of inner serenity. Have you ever experienced the feeling of calm and inner serenity? It is important to recognize inner serenity as a valuable quality that can help us face life's challenges with more balance and peace of mind. By cultivating inner serenity, we are able to deal with stressful situations with greater mental clarity and emotional resilience. Epictetus teaches us that inner serenity is a valuable virtue that we can cultivate through the practice of acceptance and detachment. He encourages us to find inner peace, even amidst life's adversities, by cultivating an attitude of serene resignation towards things we cannot change. By cultivating inner serenity, we can find greater emotional stability and mental balance, regardless of external circumstances. Principle 15. Practice of gratitude. Have you ever experienced the benefits of practicing gratitude daily? The practice of gratitude is a powerful antidote against stress, anxiety, and dissatisfaction. By cultivating a state of gratitude, we are able to recognize and appreciate the blessings in our lives, even in the smallest things. This allows us to develop a more positive perspective and a greater appreciation for life. Epictetus reminds us of the importance of recognizing and expressing gratitude for everything we have, even amidst difficulties. He encourages us to cultivate an attitude of gratitude daily, acknowledging the gifts of life and the people around us. By practicing gratitude, we can experience a greater sense of contentment and connection with the world around us. Principle 16. Accept the unpredictability of life. Have you ever been confronted with the unpredictable nature of life and struggled to accept it? A breakup, job loss, death of a loved one, and the fact that one day it will also be your departure from this earth. None of this we can predict, and it happens without life's prior authorization. Epictetus reminds us that life is marked by unpredictability and the inevitability of change and loss. He encourages us to embrace this reality and cultivate an attitude of acceptance towards life's uncertainties. By recognizing the transience of all things, we can learn to live with more gratitude, appreciation, and serenity. Principle 17. Resilience in the face of adversity. Have you ever faced difficult challenges and had to adapt and overcome them? Challenges are not signs that you are unlucky or that life always throws you curveballs. The fact is that good and bad things happen in everyone's life. You have to keep in mind that people sell their perfect lives everywhere, and most of the time they are empty people who just mask their difficulties. Epictetus reminds us of the importance of developing emotional and mental resilience to face life's challenges. He encourages us to see adversities as opportunities for growth and learning, rather than letting them shake us. By cultivating an attitude of resilience, we can find inner strength and courage to face the challenges that arise in our path. Principle 18. Understanding human nature. Have you ever tried to understand the motivations and perspectives of the people around you? Understanding human nature is essential for building healthy and harmonious relationships. By striving to understand the emotions, needs, and motivations of others, we can cultivate empathy, compassion, and mutual respect. Epictetus teaches us that understanding human nature is fundamental to living a virtuous and peaceful life. He encourages us not to judge others hastily, but to seek to understand the reasons behind their actions. By striving to understand human nature, we can develop more meaningful relationships and a greater understanding of the world around us. Principle 19. Acceptance of what cannot be changed. Have you ever found yourself struggling against something that simply cannot be altered? Acceptance of what cannot be changed is a key to inner peace and serenity. By recognizing and accepting the circumstances that are beyond our control, we can release the tension and resistance that often accompany the struggle against the inevitable. Epictetus reminds us of the importance of serenely accepting what we cannot change. He encourages us to direct our energy towards areas where we can make a real difference, rather than wasting it on fruitless worries. By accepting what cannot be changed, we find greater inner peace and a sense of liberation from unnecessary concerns. Principle 20. Self-knowledge. Have you ever wondered who you really are and what your deepest values and principles are? Self-knowledge is an essential inner journey for an authentic and meaningful life. By exploring our thoughts, emotions, and experiences, we can develop a deeper understanding of ourselves and our purposes in life. This allows us to live with more integrity, aligning our actions with our core values. How would Epictetus encourage us to seek self-knowledge? Epictetus reminds us that knowing ourselves is essential for living an authentic and meaningful life because we can identify our virtues and weaknesses, our core values, and our purposes in life. Hardly anyone will demotivate you, undermine your self-esteem if you deeply know yourself. This allows us to live with more integrity and fullness, finding meaning and satisfaction in our individual journeys. In a world filled with challenges, where we face inevitable pain and vulnerability, Stoic principles stand out as inexhaustible sources of wisdom. Learning not only to hide, but to transform our weaknesses into unshakable strengths represents the true journey of personal growth. Each principle serves as a guide, directing us through life's adversities. By embracing humility, rejecting hatred, seeking good even amidst difficulties, and accepting what is beyond our control, we discover the art of turning our vulnerabilities into power. May these principles guide us in the pursuit of true wealth, a content spirit, deep relationships, and the ability to face any challenge with grace and strength. Thus, on the journey of life, may we not only hide our vulnerabilities, but transform them into our most powerful armor. We thank you for sharing this journey with us. Goodbye for now.